Hey everyone, this is Pat from Dumb People Fighting, and this is my mock draft for the 2012 NBA Draft. Number 1 overall, New Orleans Hornets, Anthony Davis, power forward from Kentucky. The Hornets entered the offseason with a huge need up front since Chris Kaman and Carl Landry are free agents now, and if you believe in conspiracy theory or not, this is a major victory for the New Orleans Hornets and are looking for star power after trading Chris Paul. Davis is going to step in and be the face of the franchise for the future. Second overall pick, Charlotte Bobcats are going to take Thomas Robinson. I gave Thomas Robinson the nod over Michael Kidd-Gilchrist because Robinson is a better and more capable scorer, and that's exactly what the Bobcats need. Number 3, Washington Wizards. They're going to take Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. If Kidd-Gilchrist is still on the board, the Wizards are going to take him even though they just drafted a defensive-minded small forward last year in Singleton. If Kidd-Gilchrist goes number 2 to Charlotte, Washington will likely take Bradley Beal. Alright, Cleveland Cavaliers, 4th pick, Bradley Beal, shooting guard from Florida. The Cavaliers' biggest need is on the wing, and in this scenario, they're going to choose between either Harrison Barnes or Bradley Beal. Either would be terrific for them and would be a perfect complement to Kyrie Irving. Andre Drummond could be a possibility here too, but Beal is the safest pick, and that's exactly what Cleveland needs right now. 5th overall, Sacramento Kings. They're going to take Andre Drummond, the center from Connecticut. Kings have had a need for depth inside since they released J.J. Hickson. Andre Drummond isn't ready to make a major impact right now and is certainly a risky selection, but he does have tremendous upside, and with DeMarcus Cousins on the trade block at all times, they need front court depth. 6th overall, Portland Trail Blazers trade from the Nets. They're going to pick Jared Sullinger, and he's been taking major hits in his draft stock recently because of his back problems, but Portland needs to take the chance. The pick really is up for grabs with several players being in the mix. A point guard like Damian Lillard is a possibility, but adding Sullinger to pair with LaMarcus Aldridge would make a lot of sense. Golden State at 7. They're going to take Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes, one of the most talented players in the draft, is going to fall to 7. Because after trading Monte Ellis, the Warriors have a desperate need on the wing. Even though they just drafted Klay Thompson, they need more depth. Harrison Barnes would be a dynamic scorer in the NBA and would be a great value at the 7th pick. Toronto Raptors, pick number 8. Dion Waiters from Syracuse. Since he pulled out of the NBA draft combine, there are rumors that Dion Waiters has a lottery promise from some team. The Raptors could really use a scorer on the wing to help out DeMar DeRozan, but they're reportedly shopping this pick for a veteran. That's their call. I think it's dumb, but... Detroit Pistons at number 9. John Henson, the power forward. Pistons could use an upgrade over the Ben Wallace / Jason Maxiell duo that the team used this past season to complement Greg Monroe. John Henson would be the shot blocker for that role and would step in. Number 10, New Orleans Hornets. They're going to take Damian Lillard at point guard. Since they addressed some added size with their earlier pick, the Hornets are going to look to bolster their backcourt depth. Damian Lillard would be the future replacement for Jarrett Jack, but if Lillard ends up going 6 to the Blazers, Kendall Marshall is definitely the next best option. Which brings me to the 11th pick, Portland Blazers, Kendall Marshall from North Carolina. Raymond Felton is a free agent and is coming off a disappointing season, so the Blazers should be looking for an upgrade at the point, even though they used their first pick on Nolan Smith last year. If Portland grabs Lillard at 6, the team will address its front court need here. Number 12, Milwaukee Bucks. They're going to take Leonard, the center. After trading Andrew Bogut, the Bucks now have a huge hole in the middle as they don't have a true center. I've made it crystal clear that I'm not high on Leonard to my friends, but he seems to be rising on the draft boards after a solid showing at the Combine. Phoenix Suns, 13th pick, Austin Rivers, Doc Rivers' son, shooting guard. Since Steve Nash is a free agent and not getting any younger, a floor leader of the future would be the ideal pick. With Marshall and Lillard off the board, the Suns turn to Austin Rivers, who is a dynamic scorer and helps bring some star power to a city that's about to lose the face of its franchise. 14. Houston Rockets, Tyler Zeller, center. Marcus Camby is going to be a free agent, likely not back in Houston, and Samuel Dalembert is just a short-term fix, so the Rockets will look to add size with one of their first-rounders. Tyler Zeller isn't very physical down low, but he's skilled, and he will definitely complement Louis Scola for the time being. 15. Philadelphia 76ers shooting guard Jeremy Lamb. Another big body would be ideal for the 76ers since Spencer Hawes is a free agent, so they would take a serious look at John Henson, Arnhem Moultrie, or one of the Joneses. However, Philly could also use a shooter, and Jeremy Lamb is too good of a value to pass up at this point. Houston Rockets at 16, Perry Jones III, forward from Baylor. With their second first rounder, the Rockets can take a risk and end Jones' slide down the draft board. He would add some needed versatility to their roster and could be a steal if he ever figures it out. 17, Dallas Mavericks, Mo Harkless, small forward from St. John's. Jason Kidd, Jason Terry, Delonte West, and maybe Vince Carter will all be free agents, meaning the Mavericks need some new blood in the backcourt. Terrence Ross would be a possibility, but Mo Harkless received rave reviews after his performance at the Combine. 18, Minnesota Timberwolves, Terrence Ross, shooting guard from Washington. The Timberwolves desperately need a shooting guard, and will be thrilled if Terrence Ross falls to them. He has lottery skill and could very well be off the board at this point already though. 19, Orlando Magic, Arnhem Moultrie, power forward from Mississippi State. Arnhem Moultrie surprisingly didn't work out at the Combine, which could backfire on him in the end. He would add some needed size behind Dwight Howard, and also provide insurance in case Howard is in his final season with the Magic. Number 20, Denver Nuggets, Marcus Teague, point guard from Kentucky. The Nuggets have a solid core, but Andre Miller is a free agent, meaning Denver could use some depth at point guard. Pick 21, Boston Celtics, Terrence Jones from Kentucky. Celtics could use improved depth at just about every position since they only have 4 players under contract for next season. Terrence Jones is one of the big sliders in this scenario and will provide Boston with some versatility at forward. 22, Boston Celtics again, Fab Melo. They're probably going to trade one of these 2 picks, but I can't take that into account right now. If they stick with the 22nd pick, they're going to pick Fab Melo, the center from Syracuse. Continuing the front court upgrade, Boston grabs one of the few true 7-footers in the draft class. He would provide an immediate defensive presence and rebounder inside. Pick number 23, Atlanta Hawks, Tony Wroten, point guard from Washington. With only 6 players under contract next season, the Hawks take the best available player. Tony Wroten is a great talent, but also has some red flags to his game, which is why he slips this far. Number 24, Cleveland Cavaliers, Andrew Nicholson, power forward from St. Bonaventure. Grabbing Beal at 4 would address the Cavaliers' need on the wing, and ideally, they would add a true big here. Since there's no center on the board worth taking at this point, Cleveland is going to have to look elsewhere. Andrew Nicholson is an inside-outside threat who would replace free agent Antoine Jameson. 25, Memphis Grizzlies, John Jenkins, shooting guard. The Grizzlies could use improved depth at just about every position, but specifically the backcourt. John Jenkins is a sharp shooter who provides a backup plan in case restricted free agent O.J. Mayo leaves this offseason. 26, Indiana Pacers, Doran Lamb, shooting guard, Kentucky. Pacers could use some size behind Roy Hibbert, but with no big worth taking this high, they turn their attention elsewhere. Doran Lamb would be a solid replacement for free agent to be Barbosa as a scoring threat off the bench. Pick 27, Miami Heat, Jeffrey Taylor from Vanderbilt. The Heat would probably love to add a true big man with this pick, but instead settle for an athletic, versatile player like Jeffrey Taylor, who would likely contribute off the bench right away. Oklahoma City Thunder, Royce White, 28th pick. OKC is one of the best young cores in the NBA in Cater, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. Royce White is a unique talent with his point forward abilities that would only add to the Thunder's offensive arsenal. Pick 29, Chicago Bulls, Tyshawn Taylor, point guard from Kansas. With Derrick Rose possibly having to miss the entire 2012-2013 season, the Bulls certainly need to find options at point guard. And pick number 30, Golden State Warriors, Evan Fournier from France. The Warriors could look to add some depth at power forward, but can roll the dice with a younger talent like Fournier or possibly Quincy Miller. Since I have them taking Harrison Barnes earlier, they're going to grab the shooting guard. And that's the end of the first round, and those are my picks for the 2012 NBA mock draft. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.